shopping. You're totally, oh, Brian, well, you have, Brian. Oh, I'm so impressed. Well done. If you haven't yet, you may empathize with the feeling of this song.
Last Boxing Day, my wife went down to the Whitesales for to see. In truckload lost my half-price paper and pencil for the tree. I packed it up for use this year in a box I marked so plain. The stuff would sure be handy now, but it's never been seen again. At last I'm ready for Christmas, I even finished the tree. At last I'm ready for Christmas, like I thought I'd never be. With my feet propped up by a good hot fire and a matching inside glow. At last I'm ready for Christmas, with nearly 2 hours to go. So this year we start off early, no need to rush around. The intention was to start in August when the prices still were down. But it's dentist this and you like that, and the money melts away. So I had to wait for Christmas bonus, and I did it all yesterday. At last I'm ready for Christmas, I even finished the tree. At last I'm ready for Christmas, like I thought I'd never be. With my feet propped up by a good hot fire and a matching inside glow. At last I'm ready for Christmas, with nearly 2 hours to go. We must be moved in a look at how you can hardly see the tree. We said this year we'd keep things simple and did our usual spree. But it feels so good when the kids go round, so it's worth the toil and strain. These kids are only just 9 months and they'll never be so again. At last I'm ready for Christmas, I even finished the tree. At last I'm ready for Christmas, like I thought I'd never be. With my feet propped up by a good hot fire and a matching inside glow. At last I'm ready for Christmas, with nearly 2 hours to go. At last Christmas, I've even finished the tree. At last Christmas, like I thought I'd never be. With my feet propped up by a good hot fire and a matching inside glow. At last I'm ready for Christmas, with nearly 2 hours to go.
Well, my goodness, well done to anyone who is indeed ready for Christmas. And maybe you already did your shopping in August and have the Christmas pudding quietly aging in a tin. If so, congratulations. I suspect you're ahead of most of us. If not, and you feel that it's all coming a bit too fast, too hot, and too noisy, you can lay down your worries and to-do lists just for a little while, knowing you can pick them back up again when you leave. And for this next hour, I invite you across a threshold into a deeper story of Christmas, a story of seeking, finding, helping, losing, failing, and being found. You too are at home, here in this place, in this community, home in the arms of a love that has never left you. Let us join our voices together in singing Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly, number 235. Please rise.
La
Thank you for that wonderful round of joyful singing. Later in the service, we take an offering. All offerings on Sunday mornings go to non-profit organizations which go to support the wider community. This month, the organization that your Sunday morning offerings will go to is the North Shore Women's Center, a place for women, a voice for women. When the time comes, a little later in the service, please give generously. I'm going to invite Annie Fallardo up. Annie, please come to help us light our candles. Annie, when I talk to her, her passions are yoga and her dogs. These are Annie's passions. Also is North Vancouver. She's been in BC now for 18 years. However, she's going back to Quebec, maybe for a short while, maybe a long while, to be with her mother and her family. I know she will be back in North Van, because this is truly in your heart. Yes. Yes. So, we recognize that we are in sacred space with the joining of generosity, intentionality, and grace. To symbolize this, we light this chalice, a container for our hopes and dreams, a container for this community. We kindle this flame as a symbol of our gathering. May the light of understanding illuminate our darkness. May the warmth of sharing bring us peace. In the midst of this community and in the hearts of every one of us, there are joys to be celebrated, and yet also sorrows and worries. As we light this candle for this community, let us name these joys and sorrows in the quiet places of our hearts and minds, knowing that both the joys and the sorrows are interwoven in the fabric of what we call life. We also light a candle for global concerns. And this morning, as many of you will have heard on the news, there have been breakouts of terrible shootings, one at Bondi Beach in Australia, where 11 people were killed, 30 injured, terrorizing, largely in response to the other celebration for the Jewish community of Hanukkah. This time, we light the candle for global concerns. Yes? Oh, sorry. You need to hear. This is the first day of the Jewish celebration of Hanukkah, and some of these acts of terrorism have been in response to this. The song I've chosen for us to sing is, hang on just one second. I've got peace like a river. That might sound like an absolutely ridiculous song for us to sing today, but sometimes it is an act of anarchy simply to remember and hold out that peace can be within us, love can be within us, love can be within the world, and peace can, yet again, be in this world. So let's join in a prayerful, meditative, contemplative singing of I've Got Peace Like a River. And I invite you, as we do this, if you can, you might want to look at the words, or you might want to close your eyes and imagine light pouring over yourself, pouring over those that you know, and indeed pouring over our whole world. This is a huge piece of what we can contribute to this world, this time. Let's sing together. I've got peace like a river. Number 100.
Peace
Amen. The Story of the Other Wise Man by Henry van Dyke. Edited by Irina Novikova. Thank you. You know the story of the 3 wise men of the East and how they traveled from far away to offer their gifts at the manger in Bethlehem. But have you ever heard the story of the 4th wise man, who also saw the star rising and set out to follow it, yet did not arrive with his brethren in the presence of the young child? Of the great desire of this 4th pilgrim, and how it was denied and yet perhaps accomplished in this denial. Of his many wanderings and the probations of his soul. Of the long way of his seeking and the strange way of his finding. The one whom he sought, I would tell the tale, as I have heard fragments of it in the hall of dreams, in the palace of the heart of man. We're going to join now in singing, Do You Hear What I Hear? Choir, you can stay in the pews.
In the days when Augustus Caesar was master of many kings and Herod reigned in Jerusalem, there lived in the city of Ecbatana, among the mountains of Persia, a certain man named Artaban, the Magi. High above the trees, a dim glow of light shone through the curtained arches of his upper chamber, where Artaban was holding counsel with his friends. "Hear me, my friends," said Artaban very quietly, "while I tell you of the new light and truth that has come to me and my fellow magi, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar, through the most ancient of all signs. We have studied the sky, and in the spring of the year we saw two of the greatest stars draw together in the sign of the fish, which is the house of the Hebrews. We also saw a new star there, which shone for one night and then vanished. Now again, the two great planets are meeting. This night is their conjunction. My three brothers are watching at the ancient temple of the seven spheres at Borsippa in Babylonia, and I am watching here. If the star shines again, they will wait 10 days for me at the temple, and then we will set out together for Jerusalem to see and worship the promised one who shall be born King of Israel. I believe the sign will come. I have made ready for the journey. I have sold my house and my possessions and bought 3 jewels, a sapphire, a ruby, and a pearl, to carry with them as tribute to the king. And I ask you to go with me on the pilgrimage, that we may have joy together in finding the prince who is worthy to be served." While he was speaking, he thrust his hand into the inmost fold of his girdle and drew out 3 great gems, one blue as a fragment of the night sky, one redder than a ray of sunrise, and one as pure as the peak of a snow mountain at twilight. And he laid them out on the outspread linen scrolls before him. But his friends looked on with strange and alien eyes. A veil of doubt and mistrust came over their faces. At last, Tigranes said, "Artaban, this is a vain dream. It comes from too much looking upon the stars and the cherishing of lofty thoughts. It would be wiser to spend the time in gathering money for the new fire temple at Chala. No king will ever rise from the broken race of Israel, and no end will ever come to the eternal strife of light and darkness. He who looks for it is a chaser of shadows. Farewell." And another said, "Artaban, I have no knowledge of these things, and my office as guardian of the royal treasure binds me here. This quest is not for me, but if thou must follow it, fare thee well." And another said, "In my house there sleeps a new bride, and I cannot leave her nor take her with me on this strange journey. This quest is not for me. But may thy footsteps be prospered wherever thou goest, so farewell." And another said, "I am ill and unfit for hardship, but there is a man among my servants whom I will send with thee when thou goest, to bring me word how thou farest." But Abgarus, the oldest and the one who loved Artaban the best, lingered after the others had gone and said gravely, "My son, it may be that the light of truth is in this sign that has appeared in the skies, and then it will surely lead to the prince and to the mighty brightness. Or it may be that it is only a shadow of the light, as Tigranes has said, and then he who follows it will have only a long pilgrimage and an empty search. But it is better to follow even the shadow of the best than to remain content with the worst. And those who would see wonderful things must often be ready to travel alone. I am too old for this journey, but my heart shall be a companion of the pilgrimage day and night, and I shall know the end of thy quest. Go in peace. Far over the eastern plain, a white mist stretched like a lake. But where the distant peak of Zagros serrated the western horizon, the sky was clear. Jupiter and Saturn rolled together like drops of lambent flame about to blend in one. As Arjban watched them, behold, an azure spark was born out of the darkness beneath, rounding itself with purple splendors to a crimson sphere, and spiring upward through rays of saffron and orange into a point of white radiance. It pulsated in the enormous vault as if the three jewels in the Magian's breast had mingled and been transformed into a living heart of light. It is the sign, he said. The king is coming, and I will go to meet him.
Thank you, Bob. While we may not all be seeking the child named Jesus, we are all seeking something. We are all kings wandering along the way. Let us join together in singing We Three Kings.
A night and a day passed. Artaban's horse, Vazda, almost spent, and Artaban would gladly have returned to the city to find rest. But it was 3 hours' journey yet to the Temple of the Seven Spheres, and he must reach the place by midnight if he would find his comrades waiting. So he did not halt, but rode steadily across the stubble fields. Suddenly, the dim starlight revealed the form of a man lying on the road. His humble dress and the outline of his haggard face showed that he was probably one of the poor Hebrew exiles who still dwelt in the vicinity. The chill of death was in his lean hand. And as Artaban released it, the arm fell back upon the motionless breast. Artaban turned away with the thought of pity, but as he turned, a ghostly sigh came from the man's lips. His bony fingers closed convulsively on the hem of the Magian's robe. Artaban's heart leaped, not with fear, but with a dumb resentment at the importunity of this blind delay. How could he stay here to minister to a dying stranger? What claim had this unknown fragment of human life upon his compassion? If he lingered but for an hour, he could hardly reach Borsippa at the appointed time. His companions would think he had given up the journey and leave without him. He would lose his quest. But if he went on now, the man would surely die. If he stayed, life might be restored. Should he risk his divine faith for the sake of a single deed of human love? He brought water from one of the small canals nearby and moistened the sufferer's brow and mouth. He mingled a draught of a potent remedy which he carried in his girdle, for the Magians were physicians as well as astrologers, and poured it slowly between the colorless lips. Hour after hour he labored as only a skillful healer can do. At last, the man's strength returned. Slowly, he sat up and looked about him. "Who art thou?" he said, in the rude dialect of the country, "and why hast thou sought me here to bring me back my life?" "I am Artaban the Magian of the city of Ecbatana. I am going to Jerusalem in search of the one who is born King of the Jews, a great prince and deliverer of all men. I dare not delay any longer, for the caravan that has waited for me will depart. Here is all I have left of bread and wine, and of healing herbs. When thy strength is restored, thou canst find the Hebrews in the houses of Babylon." Artaban left the Hebrew and rode swiftly to the place of gathering with the other Magi. There was no sign of the caravan. At the edge of the terrace, he found a cairn of broken bricks. Under it, a parchment. He read, "We have waited past midnight and can delay no longer. We go to find the king. Follow us across the desert." Artaban covered his head in despair. "How can I cross the desert with no food and with a spent horse? I must return to Babylon, sell my sapphire, buy a train of camels and provision for the journey. I may never overtake the Magians. Only God, the merciful, knows whether I shall lose the sight of the king because I tarried to show mercy."
Sometimes it seems we're all running around in our own directions.
Sometimes it seems we all lost the world today, and all we really wanted of magic was to keep on wishing someone might remember us by name. There are angels who walk among us, helping, sharing, shining light. Precious angels here among us, guide us through. We'll walk with you, and everything will be alright. What if our wings are still folded? What if we are quite ready to see? What if we make mistakes along life's journey? Oh, there's still a little bit of the angels in you and me. There are angels who walk among us, helping, sharing, shining light. Precious angels here among us, guide us through. We'll walk with you, and everything will be alright. Guide us through. We'll walk with you, and everything will be alright.
At last, Artaban arrived in Bethlehem. It was the third day after the 3 wise men came to that place and found Mary and Joseph with the child, Jesus, and laid their gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh at his feet. The streets of the village seemed to be deserted, and Artaban wondered whether the men had all gone up to the hill pastures to bring down their sheep. From the open door of a low stone cottage, he heard the sound of a woman singing softly. He entered and found a young mother hushing her baby to rest. She told him of the strangers from the Far East who had appeared in the village 3 days ago, and how they said a star had guided them to the place where Joseph of Nazareth was lodged with his wife and her newborn child, and how they had paid reverence to the child and given him many rich gifts. But the travelers disappeared again, she continued, as suddenly as they had come. We were afraid at the strangeness of their visit. We could not understand it. The man of Nazareth took the baby and his mother and fled away that same night, secretly, and it was whispered that they were going far away. Artaban listened to her gentle, timid speech, and the child in her arms looked up at his face and smiled, stretching out its rosy hands to grasp at the winged circle of gold on his breast. Might not this child have been the promised prince? He asked within himself as he touched its soft cheek. But suddenly there came the noise of a wild confusion, an uproar in the streets of the village, a shrieking and a wailing of women's voices, a clangor of brazen trumpets and clashing of swords, and a desperate cry, the soldiers of Herod, they're killing our children. The young mother's face grew white with terror. She clasped her child to her bosom and crouched motionless in the darkest corner of the room, covering him with the folds of her robe, lest he should wake and cry. But Artaban went quickly and stood in the doorway of the house, his broad shoulders filling the portal from side to side. and the peak of his white cap all but touched the lintel. The soldiers came hurrying down the street with bloody hands and dripping swords. At the sight of the stranger in his imposing dress, they hesitated with surprise. The captain of the band approached the threshold to thrust him aside, but Artaban did not stir. His face was as calm as though he were watching the stars, and in his eyes there burned that steady radiance before which even the half-tamed hunting leopard shrinks and the fierce bloodhound pauses in his leap. He held the soldier silently for an instant and then said in a low voice, "I am all alone in this place, and I am waiting to give this jewel to the prudent captain who will leave me in peace." He showed the ruby glistening in the hollow of his hand like a great drop of blood. The captain was amazed at the splendor of the gem. The pupils of his eyes expanded with desire, and the hard lines of greed wrinkled around his lips. He stretched out his hand and took the ruby. "March on," he cried to the men. "There's no child here. The house is still." Artaban re-entered the cottage. He turned his face to the east and prayed, "O God of truth, forgive my sin. I have said the thing that is not to save the life of a child, and 2 of my gifts are gone. I have spent for man that which was meant for God. Shall I ever be worthy to see the face of the King?" But the voice of the woman, weeping for joy in the shadow behind him, said very gently, "Because thou hast saved the life of my little one, may the Lord bless thee and keep thee. May the Lord make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace."
Gratia Artaban was traveling from place to place and searching among the people of the dispersion, with whom the little family from Bethlehem might perhaps have found a refuge. He passed through countries where famine lay heavy upon the land. He made his dwelling in plague-stricken cities where the sick were languishing in the bitter companionship of helpless misery. He visited the oppressed and the afflicted in the gloom of subterranean prisons and the crowded wretchedness of slave markets and the weary toil of galley ships. Though he found none to worship, he found many to help. He fed the hungry and clothed the naked and healed the sick and comforted the captive. It seemed almost as if he had forgotten his quest. 33 years of the life of Artaban had passed away, and he was still a pilgrim and a seeker after light, worn and weary and ready to die, but still looking for the king. He had come for the last time to Jerusalem. But on this day, there was a singular agitation visible in the multitude. The sky was veiled with a portentous gloom, and currents of excitement seemed to flash through the crowd like the thrill which shakes the forest on the eve of a storm. Artaban joined company with a group of people from his own country, Parthian Jews who had come up to keep the Passover, and inquired of them the cause of the tumult and where they were going. "We are going," they answered, "to the place called Golgotha, outside the city walls, where there is to be an execution. Have you not heard what has happened? 2 famous robbers are to be crucified, and with them another called Jesus of Nazareth, a man who has done many wonderful works among the people, so that they love him greatly. But the priests and elders have said that he must die, because he gave himself out to be the Son of God. And Pilate has sent him to the cross, because he said that he was the King of the Jews." How strangely those familiar words fell upon the tired heart of Artaban. They had led him for a lifetime over land and sea, and now they came to him darkly and mysteriously like a message of despair. The king had arisen, but he had been denied and cast out. He was about to perish. Perhaps he was already dying. Could it be the same who had been born in Bethlehem 33 years ago, at whose birth the star had appeared in heaven, and of whose coming the prophets had spoken? Artaban said within himself, "The ways of God are stranger than the thoughts of men, and it may be that I shall find the king at last in the hands of his enemies, and shall come in time to offer my pearl for his ransom before he dies." So the old man followed the multitude with slow and painful steps towards the Damascus gate of the city. Just beyond the entrance of the guardhouse, a troop of Macedonian soldiers came down the street, dragging a young girl with torn dress and disheveled hair. As the Magian paused to look at her with compassion, she broke suddenly from the hands of her tormentors and threw herself at his feet, clasping him around the knees. She had seen his white cap and the winged circle on his breast. "Have pity on me," she cried, "and save me for the sake of the God of purity. I also am a daughter of the true religion which is taught by the Magi. My father was a merchant of Parthia, but he is dead, and I am seized for his debts to be sold as a slave. Save me from worse than death." Artaban trembled. It was the old conflict in his soul, which had come to him in the palm grove of Babylon and in the cottage at Bethlehem, the conflict between the expectation of faith and the impulse of love. Was it his great opportunity or his last temptation? He could not tell. One thing only was clear in the darkness of his mind. It was inevitable. He took the pearl from his bosom. Never had it seemed so luminous, so radiant, so full of tender, living luster. He laid it in the hand of the slave. "This is thy ransom, daughter. It is the last of my treasures, which I kept for the king." While he spoke, the darkness of the sky thickened, and shuddering tremors ran through the earth, heaving convulsively like the breast of one who struggles with mighty grief. The walls of the houses rocked to and fro. Stones were loosened and crashed into the street. Dust clouds filled the air. The soldiers fled in terror, reeling like drunken men. But Artaban and the girl whom he had ransomed crouched helpless beneath the wall of the praetorium. What had he to fear? What had he to live for? He had given away the last remnant of his tribute for the king. He had parted with the last hope of finding him. The quest was over, and it had failed. But he knew that even if he could live his earthly life over again, it could not be otherwise than it had been. One more lingering pulsation of the earthquake quivered through the ground. A heavy tile, shaken from the roof, fell and struck the old man on the temple. He lay breathless and pale, with his gray head resting on the young girl's shoulder and the blood trickling from the wound. As she bent over him, fearing that he was dead, there came a voice through the twilight, very small and still, like music sounding from a distance. Then the old man's lips began to move as if in answer, and she heard him say in the Parthian tongue, "Not so, my lord, for when I saw thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink, when saw I thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? When saw I thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? 33 years have I looked for thee, but I have never seen thy face, nor ministered to thee, my king." He ceased, and the sweet voice came again. But now it seemed as though she understood the words. "Verily I say unto thee, inasmuch as thou hast done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, thou hast done it unto me." A calm radiance of wonder and joy lighted the pale face of Artaban like the first ray of dawn on a snowy mountain peak. One long last breath of relief exhaled gently from his lips. His journey was ended. His treasures were accepted. The other wise man had found the king.
Will the ushers please collect the offering? And will the choir please come up to sing Sure on this shining night? The life of this congregation is rich and full. During this week, there are many opportunities to build community in work and in relationships. A huge thanks again goes to Diane Hicks, who week after week makes these amazing lunches for us. After today's service, you're invited to join us downstairs for the soup, which I know we can all smell. And today we have the gift of having Val and Brian Hemingway with us, who I believe have an anniversary. Is this correct? Yes. And, sorry? 60th wedding anniversary. Wow. And to celebrate that, Diane told me they have brought a treat, not just for themselves, but for all of us. So I think, is that right? Lovely. Thank you, Val. Next Sunday's service is led by Bruce Grierson, and this time Bruce is inspiring us anew with stories gleaned from astronauts whom he has interviewed. I know, I can't wait. Normally I know what people are going to say. I don't know the details, though. I'm waiting to hear these details, and it's entitled, When Astronauts Return to Earth as Mystics. It's right up my alley. And for those for whom the mall joy and glitz of Christmas just does not match with your heart at this time of year, Kerry and Liz Moffat, thank you so much, are offering a blue Christmas service here at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, December the 17th. And as we prepare ourselves to go back into the wider community, let us join our voices in joyfully singing Go Tell It on the Mountain, hymn number 239. Thank you. Please rise. Let us extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame. The world calls us to live with depth, meaning, and purpose. We go forth with courage and love. Your life has carried you to many stables, some lit warmly, holding love and warm memories. Some, like the stable the fourth wise man arrived at, empty and laid bare by waste, terror, and loss. You have journeyed over many deserts, some arid, seeming to last forever, and some rich, lush oases where unexpected fruits are to be found. Although sometimes hard, these are gifts, for the losses have carved out compassion within your heart. The difficulties strengthened your resolve. You are stronger than you know, more loving than you realize, and more powerful than you could ever imagine. Go in peace, giving your light to the world. Amen. Let us close singing Circle Round for Freedom.